Hello and welcome to Retech, and it's a bit of an odd one here because it kind of concerns retro computers as well, but it concerns misinformation. Now it's going to sound a bit weird, but just bear with me because I've been playing around with ChatGPT on OpenAI, and basically I've been quite impressed by it. It's kind of been touted as the possible end of the world for YouTubers, for information on the internet, and also for, creating this kind of content and video content, etc. Now, there's a channel called Thunderfoot, and really good. I've been following him for absolute ages, and he's normally kind of on the money with these kinds of things. I kind of agree with him when he said that this AI systems, either ChatGPT or similar, are going to basically rule the YouTube market, because you can put in a request for a story about anything and it'll come back with a very literate story. It's not massively in-depth, so I'm guessing it kind of takes a lot from places like Wikipedia. It takes a lot from websites found via Google search, and it's generally very good. I was quite impressed with what it came up with about the ZX Spectrum. I was quite impressed with the kind of very sort of tight little monologue it came up with, really. And I thought to myself, okay, this is getting interesting. So maybe Thunderfoot has a point, and maybe a lot of YouTubers have a point, but I thought I'd dig a little bit deeper. Now, the reason I dug a little bit deeper is because I thought, well, really, if it's going to be the way forward, then it has to be reliable, it has to work. But what I got back was, and I'll put it up on the screen in a moment, but what I got back was not factually correct. Now, anyone who's kind of into retro computing or knows about the Oric 1 and the Oric Atmos and Tangerine micros or Tangerine systems, basically all the way back through before the Oric 1 was ever thought of and brought out, and their micro-tan systems and basically all of the other stuff that they produced, will know that it's an English company. It's a British company based in Cambridgeshire. They based themselves in St Ives, not far from the mill where Sinclair Radionics were. In fact, at one point they shared the same postcode and the same postal address, which is quite bizarre, really, because it obviously meant that they had some kind of tie-in or knew each other very well. So anyway, the article started off as if it was written by someone who's just been pulling facts from various places around the internet. There wasn't anything kind of different in there. There wasn't anything unique in what it was saying. But the first line was basically Oric 1 was a French company. Now, a lot of people are going to read that and believe it, and a lot of people are going to read the article and believe everything it says. But when you get the opening line of it was a French company, then you've got to start questioning really how effective is these AI systems, how effective is ChatGPT. It is very clever and it's very impressive, but it's got to rely on whatever information is out there on the web, and that can be its downfall. Right, so you're going to have to forgive the dodgy sound from this microphone. It's just a headset on my PC, because since doing the Oric 1 part, and it got it completely wrong, including the aforementioned company was based in France. It also mentioned that the machine had 64K of usable memory and so on. It gets even worse. I searched up David Pleasance and it come back with this absolute rubbish. It basically said that David Pleasance was the managing director of Signosis, plus a lot of other stuff which isn't actually accurate. It's accurate only if you'd taken the facts and throw them in the air and then waited for them to kind of land in whatever order they landed in, because this is not the way it was. So anyway, I'll leave it up on the screen, you can read it and you can see what I mean. So if I scroll down, this part is correct. This part is not quite correct, but you know, it's kind of picked words and made its own word salad out of different articles, so it's not right. And this is not correct either. So what you need to do is to go and have a look at the David Pleasance videos. There's about 5 hours of them, and there's a number of videos, and it starts his entire life story from literally from day one. So I mean literally from day one, when he was a child onwards to when he left Commodore and so on. So yeah, go and have a look at that and check that out and see how wrong this article is. Okay, just to back up what I've said there about David Pleasance not being at Psygnosis in the mid-1980s, because he was actually at Commodore 1983 through to 1995. Prior to that he was with a Provident, then the Bank Card Australia, then 3M Company, then Pioneer Electronics Australia. You can see or hear about his life and everything he did from my video, so have a look for the David Pleasance one and you can hear it directly from David Pleasance himself, from the person who was there at the time. You see, a lot of the information out on the web has not been verified. A lot of the information that's out on the web is from, you know, users just like you, me, whoever wants to build a website or do an article on this, and it's never ever fact checked. Not in a way that's something that's actually being produced as a paper, being produced for something that's going to be published is fact checked and verified and cross-referenced and so on. This is literally pulled from various articles on the internet, and it does a very good job at kind of patching them together and making them seem like it was done by a human being, because, you know, for most part it reads like it was done by a human being, maybe somebody who was trying to do a science project at school or something similar. That's how it kind of reads. So really, is it the end of people creating their own content, coming up with their own views, coming up with their own research? Well, maybe for a massive chunk of people on who want to do YouTube videos on the internet, or who want to do other articles, and they're using platforms like Google to get their information from. Yeah, maybe it is, because what's going to happen is people are going to take whatever is there as gospel, as the truth, and then if they get something like an AI system to write their article for them, it's going to absolutely and completely destroy really what is creativity and also research, and I think that's going to be the biggest issue that we've got. So do I think it's a bad thing? Well, no, because if you're basing it on doing your own research, as in getting the articles from maybe Google, ChatGPT or any other AI platform, and then trying to find as many articles to corroborate what it said, and then putting it together yourself. But I'm guessing that's going to be a lot of work for a lot of people who just want to make a quick video for whatever and then get it uploaded or get it out there. And that's where the kind of misinformation and incorrect facts are going to come from. Incorrect facts are either lies or mistakes, or downright deceitful at times, or they can be. And that's going to be a problem. You see, eventually, just like any other topic on the internet or any other thing that people are researching, the people who were around at the time and remember it are going to be kind of fading away. They're going to disappear into, you know, folklore, into history and so on. And the people who knew about these topics, these, let's say, retro computers now, or computer history, are going to disappear as well. And then it relies on basically what the internet says, because people aren't going to cross-reference. People aren't going to do anything other than a basically surface dive into it and think, okay, that sounds good. And then when the truth does appear, there's going to be more people that are not going to believe the truth than there are people who are, because so many people have read a broken version of the timeline, or a broken version of history. So I don't think I'm going to literally take over everything, as long as people are aware of its shortcomings, its failings. And because AI is kind of learning on what humans have put into the system, and picking out parts of what humans have put into the system, there's always going to be that propensity for mistakes, for errors, for non-facts, as some people might call them. And that's going to bring in a huge chunk of fallibility into the system. But that fallibility may not get noticed, because if the same article and the same results are put out hundreds of thousands of times to hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of different people around the world, then those broken facts will become fact at some point. And it'll be very hard to change people's mind, change people's mindset, change people's view on what's real and what really wasn't. So if you want genuine history, if you want genuine facts, if you want people who are trying their utmost not to make any mistakes and to give you the timeline of things, how they are, how they were, and also give you the timeline of things back in their day, their history, and back into their past, then maybe these are the best sources of it, which is these YouTube videos made by creators who actually know, hopefully, what they're talking about. So yeah, so anyway, ChatGPT, OpenAI, any other AI based bot, very impressive. And it's very impressive to see how far we've come since the release of these little 8-bit machines, because it's just a progressive move from one to another. As platforms got more powerful, this software got more powerful, and you could do more things with them. But yeah, as I said, they're very impressive, but they are fallible, and they do present the wrong facts, as in non-facts, lies, mistakes. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this, and I hope you will subscribe, and we'll be back to normal kind of programming very soon. But yeah, ChatGPT, massively impressive, but still very flawed, because it's using flawed data from humans. And that's going to be its Achilles heel, because it's really not going to be a lot better than a knowledgeable human being. It's going to have the ability to be as good as millions of knowledgeable human beings on every subject, or just about, but jack of all trades, master of none kind of springs to mind, and I think that's where we are with this at the moment. So anyway, use it, have some fun with it, but by all means do not treat everything it gives you back as gospel, as the truth, as fact, as proper history. Treat it as a starting point for your own investigations. Okay, so anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.